So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in any part of the world where you are watching this. So, today we continue on our journey on business development and, developing an entrepreneurial mindset. And it's my pleasure today to bring you week two. And today in week two, we will be looking at developing a business mindset. Do you know the amazing thing about business is that so many people say, yeah, I want to start a business. I want to start a business. I want to do this, but they don't actually think about the core things that it takes. So today in our journey, fasten your seatbelts, we will be looking at developing a business mindset and looking at all the things that need to be put in place. Thank you so much for reviewing last week. Thank you for your amazing comments. Keep commenting because you know what? This is something that we love to do at Proud to Be Me, and we want to do better. We're not perfect, as is no one. And it's only by sharing us your authentic opinion that we will get better. So I'm thanking the lecturers for watching last week's, and thank you all lecturers for watching today as we prepare to give a very great experience to your students and eventually, because we're the ones curating this course, our students. So we've all got skin in the game. We're doing this together. So let's make it a great experience for our students. Thank you. So as I said earlier, today we'll be looking at developing a business mindset. And let's look at our learning objectives. What are we going to learn today? So today we're going to understand the concept of a business mindset. What it is, what are the key characteristics of a business mindset, understanding the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And you can see me quickly changing this. It's actually fixed mindset. And then we've got developing entrepreneurial thinking. Not everybody is cut out to be an entrepreneur. Some people think, yeah, I can start a business. Do they have the grit? Do they have the gravitas? Do they have the strength, the resilience to be an entrepreneur? Not everybody can do that. Some people were actually, their mindset is more geared towards, a job. We're going to look at embracing failure as a learning opportunity, encouraging innovation and creativity, and we will learn the importance of taking calculated risks. We don't take, some people take crazy risks. You can put that into perspective. But as an entrepreneur, a true entrepreneur will take risks. You will believe in your vision, even if nobody else does. And then we'll be looking at developing strategies to build a business mindset, understanding the role of networking and collaboration. Just today, I was watching something online that talked about, that after doing everything that you can, the next thing to up your game is your network. Really powerful. And then we will be looking at applying business mindset principles. So are you ready? Let's go. So number one, let's look at introduction to business mindset. So the business mindset is a strategic, that's a key word for me this year, strategy. Let me tell you, you could have all the gifts in the world, you understand? But you need strategy. Even networking is strategy. Even, doing your academic work is you need a strategy. Do you know you want to travel? What's the strategy? You want to achieve something within a certain time frame? What is the strategy? So business mindset is a strategic, growth orientated approach. If you're not growing, you are dying. So it's a growth orientated approach to solving problems, creating value, and driving long-term success. What value is your business bringing? What's your unique selling point? The business mindset is also a way of thinking that enables individuals to see opportunities. Some people, they can sell ice to the Eskimos. They're so good at selling. It's a strategy. I don't know if you saw on social media, there was two men collecting eggs on a row. They had different strategies, and the one strategy won. Do you understand? And also business is about taking calculated risks, driving growth. And also introduction to business mindset helps us in problem solving, innovation, and resilience. And these are key ingredients in the cake of a business mindset. I love using that analogy of a cake. I used it a couple of weeks ago, but I do love using that because when you think of a cake, you start with nothing. Add your eggs, add your sugar, add your flavoring, add your raisins, your flour, whatever. And you know, when you think about a cake, you add different types of flour. It depends, self-raising, plain flour, whatever. And then in the UK now, because people have a lot of allergies, we've even got egg-free cakes, which is doing really well. What's your niche? What innovation are you bringing? How are you cooking that jollof rice? As an example, the other day I went into a supermarket in the UK and I saw jollof rice in a packet, you know, these microwave packets. And I said, oh, wow, I love innovation. So I bought it. But you know what? When I got to my office and I put it in the microwave and I opened it, I was so angry because it tasted horrible. And then I looked at the back just to say, where did this jollof rice came from? Do you know what? Let me whisper this. Made in India. I was mad. I was upset because why? Where are all the Niger people? Where are all the Ghanaians, the Senegalese in London that somebody from Asia is packaging our food? We got to be jealous about what we have and showcase it to the world. So what? An introduction to a business mindset. Why does business mindset matter? It's essential for entrepreneur. You can't listen. You can't go into entrepreneurship with a fixed mindset because you're in the wrong job. What did I say? You are in the wrong job. So a business mindset is essential for entrepreneurs, for leaders and professionals. A business mindset will drive innovation. When others see the door is closed, you just see it open even wider. You hear me? Then it drives resilience. Listen, they knock you down, you dust yourself up, you get back up again. And then you got to be flexible. You got to be adaptable. So let's look at the characteristics of a business mindset. Number one, it's all about goal orientated thinking. Where are you going? What are your SMART goals? Are they specific? Are they measurable? Are they achievable? Are they relevant? Are they time bound? Can you imagine bringing a mobile phone out now that has no camera, that has no video, that has no notes in it? You understand? That can't record. No, it will no longer be relevant. So your goals have got to be specific. What are they? You can't be all over the place. Can you measure them? Can you measure the key performance indicators of that business? Is it achievable? Look at this. Somebody once said to me that if you put a group of astronauts in the room that have gone to space, a lot of people will not be able to identify with that because guess what? They will not have the opportunity to go to space. But if you put a group of entrepreneurs in a room with other entrepreneurs, you know, talking about how they started from zero, they will be able to get the audience because everybody can identify with that. So are your goals achievable? Are they relevant? Like I used the analogy of the mobile phone. Don't bring out a mobile phone in 2025 that is not higher in spec than what we've already got as an example. And it has to be time bound. What's the time frames that you'll be using? Then number two characteristics, customer centricity. You've got to be focusing on solving problems or solving a problem that people did not even realize that they had. We didn't realize that we needed a phone that could record music, that we could listen to music, that needed a camera, etc. Until iPhone and the Samsung and all those mobile phone brands came in. We didn't even realize that there was a problem. We didn't even realize, you understand? But now none of us will actually buy a phone without that phone having real superior features. And then another characteristics of a business mindset, you've got to be adaptable, flexible. They knock you down, you get back up. It didn't work this way, you think of another way. What's it said? That if you keep on doing the same thing and getting the same results, it's madness. If you keep on getting the same results, time to change what you're doing. So we've got to embrace change and uncertainty. Remember, we talked about COVID. When COVID came, do you understand? We couldn't meet face to face. We had to pivot. We had to look at different ways to do business. And now look at me speaking to you. You're all the way in Nigeria. I'm far away in another nation. Yet we're talking. And then you got to be resilient. You don't take rejection personally. You are not the failure. Failure is just an event. So you have to be resilient. Then again, number key, you got to know your numbers. You got to know, you got to understand profitability. You have got to understand about your return on investment, your cash flow. You got to know. And let me tell you one thing I've learned about business. If you don't know, hire the best hands. Get somebody in who knows it. Listen, you can't know everything about your business. And sometimes you need to hire people who know more than you, even in what you're doing. It will really help. It's not time for ego flexing. It's time for humility. And number six, you got to look at the risk. You got to balance innovation with calculated risk. You don't, listen, you can't be crazy about taking those risks. You understand? You've got to take a calculated risk. And then you've got to also be at the forefront of problem solving, as we mentioned earlier. And then you've got to have a growth mindset, a continuous learning mindset. If things go wrong, you take your learnings, you start again. You never take failure personally, and you continuously grow. You're reading, you're researching, you're reviewing, you're networking, you're going out. Your mind is like a sponge. You're taking it in, you're soaking in information. In this world of, everything is at our fingertips, you take advantage of all of that. So let's look at Carol Dweck's theory. Her research is centered on the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset. She explores how individuals' beliefs about their abilities shape their behavior, learning, and success. If you can, spirit, that's what it's all about. Yes, I can. So she divides people into two categories based on their beliefs. One is fixed mindset, the other one is the growth mindset. And what she famously said is, becoming is better than being. We're constantly on a journey of growth. You know, I have people that I know who did their first degree 20, 30 years ago, then went back to study law, went back to do something. If you're not growing, as I said earlier, you're dying. Our brain is supposed to be active. Think about people who retire. They're not doing something. They could become ill quite quickly because their brain is not developing. That's why we're encouraged to do puzzles, to do, brain quizzes. Keep that brain engaged. It's supposed to consistently grow. It's not supposed to die. So let's look at fixed mindset. So a fixed mindset is centered around the word I can't, I cannot, it's not for me, it's not possible. It's the belief that intelligence, talent, and abilities are static. It's either you have it or you don't. And I don't believe it. I am all for a growth mindset. A fixed mindset avoids challenges to protect self-image. They are, I would actually say, let me whisper, to a degree, not really ready to fight for purpose. They don't really recognize that life is more than how they see it. So they see effort as pointless or a sign of inadequacy. They ignore constructive criticism. They say, well, I can't do it. If I don't know it at 40, I'll never know it. And that is not true. That's a fixed mindset. Oh, I've always been doing it this way. Oh, the way we've been doing it, our ancestors have been doing it this way. No, why are we changing it now? No, but change is as good as a rest. It's great to change. But a growth mindset, it believes that abilities can be developed through effort, through learning, through persistence. It embraces challenges as opportunities to grow. When you knock them down, they get back up again and they say, yeah, I didn't pass that well this time, but I'm going to do it again and I'm going to smash it. They smash through those glass ceilings. They break through those walls. They can do all things. They view effort as the path to mastery. They learn from feedback and setbacks. They take in constructive criticism. Their ego are not bruised because they're ready to grow. Let me tell you, if your ego is too big, you're not ready to grow. Let me repeat that. If your ego is too big, if it fills the room, there's no space for learning. I tell my students, ask questions. Don't be too full of yourself or too shy to ask questions, because when you ask questions, you open a path for knowledge. Right, so how do we cultivate a growth mindset? What do? We celebrate learning over perfect. We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're on a journey. We reframe failures as feedback. If we fail, we don't take it personally. We say, okay, what am I learning? We reflect over it and we say, okay, what can I learn from what didn't go right? What can I do better now? What can I do better next? I hope you're all grabbing what I'm saying. Now, let's look at entrepreneurial thinking. It's all about continuous learning. Some of you, you want to do your PhD. Good on you. Some of you, you want to do a second master's, whatever. Good on you. That is an entrepreneurial way of thinking. An entrepreneur never stops learning. Then an entrepreneur is always out and about. In the last couple of weeks, I've been in Berlin at the Global Women's Summit. I've been in London at the Women's Summit, another Women's Summit. I'm constantly, seeking ways to learn, to network, to collaborate. That is at the heart of entrepreneurial thinking. And then we've got reflective practice. You've got to think, we've got Gibbs. Go and check that out. Gibbs or Kolb's reflective practice. You think about, what did I do? How could I do it better? What are my learnings? You've got to reflect in life. You can't go through life like a bull in a china shop. Imagine a bull in a china shop. It will break all the china, break all the plates in the shop. You can't go through life like that. You got to reflect. You got to sit down and reflect. What did I do better? What can I do better, rather? You got to be proactive instead of reactive. I'd also add, be intentional. Live life as an entrepreneur intentionally. Be strategic. Be proactive instead of reactive. Don't react. I recently qualified as a neurolinguistic neurolinguistic coach, as it were. And the one thing I took away is that you got to be a cause rather than effect. Don't let everything that happens cause a reaction. No, be a cause. Be a cause rather than effect. You understand? Be at cause, right? So be proactive instead of reactive. And then time management is key. Look at the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule. What are you doing with your time, entrepreneur? We got 24 hours in the day. Elon Musk, richest man in the world as of now. He's got 24 hours like you and I have. Bill Gates, Richard Branson, Jeff Bezos, the Walgreen family, CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, as an example. They've all got 24 hours. Use your time diligently. I mean, I'm big on time. I tithe my time, to be honest. As an example, if I'm in the kitchen cooking for my family, sometimes I'm in there at 6 a.m. and I tell myself, right, girl, you've got 2 hours in here. I plan my day with time. Time is the currency of life. It's the only thing man has no control of. We've been to the moon. We've got the greatest satellites in space, but one thing we have no control over is time. It's the currency of life. Use it wisely. And that's one thing I think about, with regards to time. Again, respect other people's time. If your appointment is at 9, don't get there at 10. Respect their time. When you're careless with time, people will also see you as a careless person. Again, another entrepreneurial thinking is develop innovative solutions. That's why AI is taking the world by storm. You understand? Do you know when hurricanes are coming? Do you know what they do? They name them after the people that see the hurricane first, or the tornado, or the bad weather. Then also see challenges as opportunities. They always are. You can always learn from challenges. And remember this quote: success is a series of small wins. And that's by the great leadership coach, John C. Maxwell. Right. Now, how do we overcome challenges to a business mindset? What are the common barriers? Number one, fear of failure. It's normal to be fearful. You understand? Would you go and put yourself in a lion's den? Only if you're crazy, right? So fear is normal, but don't let fear get to you so much that you don't want to live, that you don't want to wake up in the morning or jump out of bed. No. Fear is normal. It's a normal emotion. And I can put it to you, there's not one of us who has not felt fear. We're speaking before a big audience, we get nerves. It's normal. But it becomes a problem when it becomes paralyzing. That's where the issue is. Another barrier to overcoming, another barrier to a business mindset is short-term thinking. Don't think in the short term. Remember, I told you last week, leave a legacy with you. Every business you want to do, it's about legacy leaving it for your children, leaving it for those who will be after you. That's why I love those nonprofits, Salvation Army, Oxfam, Save the Children, Vision Age, Aid, etc. People who started them long gone, long gone. But KFC, Colonel Sanders, long dead. The person who started McDonald's, as an example, long dead, but guess what? Their business is still going. That's the way I want to leave my business too. How about you? And then another barrier to a business mindset is resistant to feedback. How will you go through life thinking, yeah, I know it all? Nobody knows it all. I'm a person of faith. So, from my perspective, the only person who knows it all is the God that I know. But some people, they just don't want to hear anything negative. You learn by critical feedback, and not critical in a negative sense. There is the art of giving feedback, and feedback should not be given to the extent that the person feels worthless. You should give feedback to the extent that the person feels empowered, and they'll say, wow, I never saw it like that. Let me go and try it. Don't give feedback and tear the person down. Give feedback to build them up. Appreciate you all. Thank you for your continuous attention. Now, solutions to overcoming challenges to a business mindset. Number one, build a great support network. Who are your cheerleaders? Who are saying, come on, come on, come on? Imagine a football match, a tennis match. You understand? The supporters are on there. Go on, you can do it. You're amazing. Come on. They're shouting, they're screaming. The atmosphere is on fire. So build a support network, people who love you, people who will support you. Even when things go down, they'll be there to give you a warm cuddle and say, listen, don't worry. You failed, but just get back up again. You understand? Another thing you can do is break goals into smaller steps. Let me get to mile 2. Let me get to mile 3, 4, 5, 6. And each time you get to those miles, you reward yourself. And don't forget, always use your SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, your threats. Use those to determine your steps and to help you look at what you're doing. Right. And then how do we embrace failure as a learning tool? We learn from mistakes and we iterate. We get to the next level. We say, okay, I've learned from those mistakes. Let me come back. Let me start all over again. Because failure is indeed a stepping stone to success. I always think one of the great ways for us to learn is let's go and read the autobiographies or the biographies of great people. And we will learn from them and we will see that it wasn't always easy. I'm sure Amazon, as a founder now, he had his own, setbacks personally, financially, in different types of ways. So let's learn, let's read biographies, let's read autobiographies. Look at entrepreneurs who failed before succeeding, and you will learn from them, and you are learning from them, number one, so you don't make the same mistakes. Innovation and creativity is powerful. If anybody lacks wisdom, one key thing is that it's important to surround yourself and read books that will help you. Think outside the box rather. Nobody wants the same thing. Don't reinvent the wheel. What's your unique selling point? How are you cooking jollof rice differently? How are you giving? Listen, in London, there was one time a friend of mine, she's a nurse, a mental health nurse. She brought us, what do you call it? Jollof rice. But guess what? In her place of work, it was made and then inserted into a vending machine, £5. When you're hungry at the hospital, go and put your £5 in. A container of jollof rice will come out with a piece of chicken. I love the idea. You're all Nigerians. People are taking Nigerian food now in the London to another level. It's in the supermarkets. It's everywhere now because, they're thinking outside the box. The world is so multicultural now. People want to taste other people's food. So think outside the box. What's your unique selling point? What are you different? How are you cooking your jollof rice different? What are you adding to it that people are craving for? You understand? So you got to innovate your business to stay competitive. And then, another thing is look at case studies of innovative companies. What are they doing? Read about them, review them, research them so you can learn. Again, not crazy, you see, not crazy risks, not mad risks, but calculated risks. We're not talking about reckless, we're talking about calculated risks. Then understand the risk reward balance. Don't pay yourself so much or pay your staff so much that there's no reserves. So you got to understand the risk reward balance. Do you understand? And one thing, let's go back to when we talked about, break down your goals into small steps. Every time you reach a little goal, you get there, reward yourself, even if it's lunch at Chicken Republic, whatever it may be. Do something for yourself, reward yourself little. So go and look at examples of successful risk taking in business. Go and read about it, research it, check it on ChatGPT. Just go and look at it. And then let's look at developing a business mindset. What will we be looking at? You got to continuously learn. The world is your oyster. Keep on learning. Surround yourself with your cheerleaders. Surround yourself with, like I said, like-minded individuals, people that will cheer you on, people that will believe in your vision. You understand? Not dream kill. I call them dream killers. Any dream killers or dream stealers in your life, run away from them. Run from them with a capital R. But surround yourself with people that will be patting you on the back. I knew you could do it. You're amazing. The cheerleaders that will be cheering you on. That's who you need to surround yourself with. And then remember, as I said, set clear goals and strategies. Don't let your goals be all over the place. Set clear goals and strategies. And again, take initiative. You are the leader. You're the entrepreneur. Take initiative and be action orientated. Then don't forget your SWOT. And then visualize your value proposition by creating your business model canvas. What does it look like? What are you bringing to the table? Yeah. Then engage in creative problem solving, mind mapping, put it down, draw, write on it, loop everything together, have your vision board. This is where we start. This is where we want to go. Have that big blank canvas and just put all your ideas on them and break them down into smaller little goals. And you understand, and learn from experts through mentorship and coaching. The other day, there was like a pitch event at my university, and I was allocated to two groups. And these are young people, great ideas. And we just had a little, Teams meeting, and I was able to share with them from my vast experience. And they said, "Oh, wow, that's really good. We'll put that into place." So don't think you know it all. Where's your mentor? Don't have a mentor or a coach that you cannot reach. You don't need a celebrity. You need somebody that you can pick up the phone and call. That's really important. Someone who is accessible to you is the one who will be your mentor and your coach. Right. Why is it important to network and collaborate? I've said it so many times, because you don't know everything. Build relationships in business, and the importance of networking is important. And when you go to network, don't think about, oh, what can you do for me? Don't have that written all over your forehead. Also think about, how can I serve you? How can I support you? People can tell selfish, self-centered people from a mile away. Don't be selfish and self-centered in networking and collaboration. Also think about it as a partnership. How can I serve you? How can you serve me? And don't be too shy. I always have a golden rule. When you're going for networking, don't go with somebody you know. If you do that, you'll be sticking with that person all evening or all day. No, go by yourself. Be bold. Hey, how are you? My name is so and so. What line of work are you in? Do you understand? I don't even like using that word. What do you do? Ask in a nicer way. What line of work are you, or how do you serve humanity? And then for those who you can trust, think about collaborating with for mutual growth. So the actionable steps that you need to take away today are: number one, Audit your current mindset. Where are you? Go and do some self-assessment quizzes. Do you understand? There's lots of psychometric quizzes you can do for free online. Go and do something. Where's your mindset? Are you cut out to be an entrepreneur? I did a course once. I wrote a course, How to Monetize Your Gifts and Talents. I've written that course. And one of the things that we have on that program is, are you cut out to be an entrepreneur? Not everybody is. What do I say? Not everybody is cut out. Some people do not have the growth mindset for entrepreneurship. And then set one smart goal. I wouldn't even say for the next quarter. I'd say for the next month. Yeah. Read at least one business book a month. Grow, expand your brain. Example is The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. And then another thing, network with industry peers. Listen, this mobile phone, it's a weapon of mass distraction. Let me say that again. Weapon of mass distraction, because we're always on it, but are we using it profitable in a profitable manner? No. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. No, cut that asunder. Type your time on that and use this phone to research ChatGTP, LinkedIn, research on YouTube, research on Spotify, research, and review. I used to tell my son, when he was much younger, always playing PlayStation. I say, son, I said, listen, the owner of PlayStation has made millions. You make your millions now. You make yours too. Go and do something better than being on PlayStation all day. Then, key takeaways. What's our conclusion? A business mindset is key to success. We must embrace learning. We must embrace risk-taking and adaptability. As an entrepreneur, you got to take risks. You cannot help but take risks. Number one risk is you. Believe in you. Take a risk on you. Number two, take action. You have that business idea, put it into place. Even start with your business plan. Put it down. Take action. Develop an entrepreneurial approach. Do you understand? Remember that a business mindset is growth plus strategy plus intent plus resilience. Yeah. Success is a habit. It's not by accident. Successful people, listen, they guard their time jealously. They don't have time for gossip or nonsense chit chat. They are intentional with time. They type their time. Then there must be a call to action. Start small, think big, and iterate often. Iterate. You come back to the drawing board. You start again. You believe in yourself. So, are there questions and answers? There may not be, and there may be. If there are questions, put them in the comments, put them in the chat, and I'll do my very best to answer. So I hope that you have enjoyed this session. You may have questions, you may have answered. We're preparing a handbook for you also. So Team Daisy, my able assistant, and Kachi, they are working hard to produce an amazing handbook that will accompany this course. So watch this space. We'll let the university know as soon as it is ready. Right, so we've got some key takeaways now. Number one, self-reflection and goal setting. The first thing I want you to do is write a short reflection on the key takeaways from today's session. Then set your specific business or career goals based on what you've learned. Then two, the practical application. Identify one real world business challenge and apply the appropriate mindset principles to it. And those are resilience, flexibility, risk-taking, strategic thinking to propose a solution. So don't forget, don't just listen to their students, and let it go over your head. Let it go in like this, and then close the ears like this and reflect. Like when you're eating a beautiful meal, you savor the taste. You think, wow, I don't want this food to finish. That's what I want you to do. Keep learning, keep growing. You are amazing. Imagine this brain that we've been given. It's amazing. It's gone to space. It's It's created robots, ChatGTP, the highest performing computer. That's what the human brain has done. Think about your brain. Put it to use. So glad that you joined us. This is us, proud to be me. We are incredibly grateful for the opportunity to be able to pour into you and to serve you. We'll be back next week. Until then, have a beautiful weekend and God bless you richly. Thank you. Time out. Bye-bye.